Hey guys, Ben here, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Batman and the Arrowverse, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment and subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos later this year. So as you guys know, Gotham Knights, which is a Batman / Batwoman spin-off, is coming to the CW next week. It will be airing right after Superman and Lois on the CW, and we'll be having coverage out on the episode, and if you guys show an interest, of course I'll continue to make videos throughout season 1, but it's really down to how much interest you guys show. But today's topic is coming from the Multiverse of Color, which comes from Andy from the Flash podcast. This is a new website, and he was able to interview Misha Collins, who is playing Harvey Dent, aka maybe Two-Face, in Gotham Knights. Many of you guys know Misha Collins from Supernatural, that's where he's best known from. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. So the title of the article is Misha Collins on how Jensen Ackles from Supernatural was almost Gotham Knights' Batman. So that is literally the main topic we're going to be talking about, but let's go over the interview first. So the Flash podcast asks, was there any attempt to try and get them to show up for an episode and to try and get the gang back together somehow? So this is obviously in reference to trying to get Jensen Ackles to reunite with Misha Collins, and so Misha replies this, yes there was. I don't know if I'm supposed to reveal this, but we tried to work it out to have Jensen play Batman on the show. It was all kind of teed up, but unfortunately Jensen was on another show at the time, and coordinating between the two series is challenging. So it didn't ultimately end up working out, but we tried. Jensen was pretty psyched about the prospect at one point because he does the voice of Batman in the animated movies. It would have been a great tie-in, and I thought it would be super fun too, but unfortunately that didn't work out. And so Flash Podcast goes on to say, well, if season 2 happens, Misha, it's a comic book show, you never know. Deaths could be faked, there could be clones. Misha replies, yes, exactly, good point, thank you. The next question is this: because I would die to see Jensen play Batman, I'm trying to imagine where Jared would fit into the DC universe, so that would have been a fun prospect if that happened in season 2. Misha replies, yeah. Who is a tall villain in the DC universe? Maybe if we had the Penguin on stilts or something like that, Jared could play it. So let's break this down. First off, I have to say I'm a big fan of Jensen Ackles as Batman. He's a great voice actor and he really sounds like Batman. So if you guys have watched the long Halloween animated films recently, or even the most recent Supergirl animated film, Legion of Superheroes, Batman was in that, and that was in fact Jensen Ackles. So with what James Gunn is doing right now in the DC universe, they are trying to tie in animation, TV, and films. So I don't think it's too far-fetched to assume that maybe at one point he could be called upon to be the new Batman. Now, we don't know who this new Batman is going to be, but wouldn't it be cool if it was him? Because there is a Batman film scheduled for some time in the near future that is titled Batman, the Brave and the Bold, or, well, it's just really Brave and the Bold, but you know what I mean. So let's break down what this is. So Gotham Knights, obviously Batman is supposed to be dead. That is the whole premise of where it starts from. And as Andy points out correctly, you could definitely see Batman at some point, whether it be in flashbacks, whether it be that Batman is actually alive. They can totally do that. It's a comic book show, anything can happen. I mean, just look at the Flash. They're bringing Green Arrow back, aka Oliver Queen, as supposedly not the Spectre, who died at the end of Crisis. So, you know, there is always a way to get out of it if they want to get out of it. But the prospect of Batman coming to the Arrowverse would be so cool. Now, we've seen various Bat characters, obviously mostly related to Batwoman, and now Gotham Knights. Even though Gotham Knights hasn't been confirmed to be on Earth Prime, it's still technically an Arrowverse show. It's run by Greg Berlanti, it's run by a lot of the ex-Batwoman showrunners and writers. So I think if it were under any other circumstances, like in the past, Gotham Knights, like Batwoman, would have eventually linked up to the rest of the Arrowverse, and so you could have seen crossovers with various different characters. And so that would mean if Batman did show up at some point and he wasn't dead, or we saw in flashbacks, that would confirm who is the Batman of Earth Prime, or of the specific Earth where Gotham Knights is set. I don't think they're actually going to acknowledge what Earth they're on, because again, this has been teased as quite a grounded show because it's set in Gotham, it's set in that kind of Bat universe which likes to keep itself grounded. So that's just something that we can think about. But in terms of Jensen Ackles showing up, like I said, I'm a big fan of him as Batman in the animated show. It would be cool to see him and Misha Collins on screen. Obviously Misha Collins plays Two-Face, aka Harvey Dent, in Gotham Knights, so that would make absolute sense. And imagine them two going at each other. Fans would be totally in for it because obviously they work very closely on Supernatural, and seeing Jensen Ackles on screen as Batman, I think he would be perfect, like an actual really good casting. And so this was actually potentially going to happen, but it got to a point where they couldn't figure out the scheduling, as Misha teases in this interview, because of the other show that Jensen was working on at the time. There was even a video online, and I'll leave a link in the description below to that, to an actual bit where Jensen and Misha were on stage at some sort of like Comic-Con event or something, and he actually references the fact that yes, he would love to be Batman in Gotham Knights. Maybe someone could recommend that he plays the role. Obviously Misha's right there, so he did probably recommend it, and they tried to make it happen to have Jensen play Batman on the show, but unfortunately it just didn't work out at the end of the day. But as Andy says in this interview, if there is a season 2, which I'm not going to bank on there being the season 2, and I don't think you guys should be, I think that's unrealistic expectations just based on what's going on with the CW right now since Nexstar took over. Doesn't look like Gotham Knights is going to have much of a home beyond season 1, so if it does get a season 2, maybe it's going to be on like another network. I would love if somewhere like Netflix bought it, or even if HBO Max took it, although HBO Max is pretty busy and they are trying to focus on James Gunn's DC universe, and clearly Gotham Knights is going to be an Elseworlds project that is going to be more linked to the Arrowverse than anything else. So if we did get a season 2, it would be nice to see Batman come back, maybe not be dead and there'd be some sort of twist, and maybe it be Jensen Ackles playing Batman. It would be totally awesome. And so what do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments below. Would you have liked to see Jensen play Batman? Also, Andy points out that he's trying to think of a role that Jared would fit in to the DC universe, that being Jared Padalecki, of course, from Supernatural as well. So that is just another person that could have potentially shown up to have that kind of Supernatural crossover. And the CW shows are quite known for this. If you look at The Flash and Supergirl, most of the cast worked with each other before or were in the same TV show. On Glee, for instance, even especially in the musical crossover, you had like Darren Criss show up alongside Grant Gustin, Melissa Benoist and everything. So there is definite links, because a lot of these shows are like somewhat similar in terms of like who runs them. There is a lot of links because of Greg Berlanti, actually, because of Berlanti Productions just producing so many shows at a certain point that I feel like we were just crossing over everywhere, left, right and center. So by that I mean, in terms of Jared Padalecki showing up in a future season, I don't think it's far-fetched to assume that that would be on their minds, especially with writers of the show who are potential fans of Supernatural, considering that they cast Misha Collins. They obviously like what he's done in the past, and they would have seen that, yes, Jensen Ackles would be a great addition to Gotham Knights, but sadly that didn't work out. And I'm sure if they ever considered it, Jared Padalecki, if he was free, he would probably show up as some other character. I like that they tease and joke about him being like some sort of throwaway villain, or even like a season-long big bad. I think that would be actually a very cool addition if like one of these characters and actors from the past on Supernatural just returned to be someone completely different, like the Penguin or like Talon, as Andy mentions in the interview. So what do you guys think about all of this? This is like super exciting. I really hope that we get to see some of this. I don't know how likely it is. Obviously, they're all busy with their own shows, and Gotham Knights is going to be very lucky if it gets a season 2. But I'm willing to give it a chance, and I think you guys are going to be willing to give it a chance. Based on the early reactions and early reviews, it's much better than the trailer has portrayed it to be. The trailer just really kind of let it down as far as I'm thinking, and I think you guys will agree with me, because those early trailers of Gotham Knights season 1 just weren't good. Like, they just had nothing too interesting in them. It feels like a kind of Riverdale spin-off slash rip-off that's set in the DC universe and set in the Arrowverse that is just happened to be about Batman, like, and his family. It just feels like they were kind of searching for a reason to have a show to do with the Bat family, and this is just like the one that they found. I'm not sure how I feel about them establishing it by killing off Batman straight away. That's a similar thing to what Batwoman did, basically, to have new characters take over as like the true lead hero of Gotham. You basically have to get rid of Batman, because Batman's always going to be the number one. So if Batman is dead or missing, which is the case in Batwoman and now Gotham Knights, I guess that is your only logical way to get rid of them, in order to have someone like Batwoman take over as the main hero of Gotham City. But yeah, that pretty much does it for this video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment. Also subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any daily uploads. There are a bunch of really cool videos that I think some of you guys are going to be interested in watching that are up and available on the channel right now, so go check them out if you haven't. And for now, you can click on the top right corner of the screen to watch my latest video, and so I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
I see red.